All right, here's the hand steering pump off the Case IH 766, and just wanted to give y'all a little advice. If you've never done this before, um, you want to be very careful when you open up, take these bolts out. There's a bunch of different rotating plates in here that have to work together. And if you haven't taken this apart before, I would be very careful. You can take the bolts out and the cover first, and then you can try to take each one out individually. What I try to do is actually take my bolts out and then leave this sleeve on. So these bolts will come out through the whole body. They come up through all of the rotating mechanisms in here. This is actually the pump inside here that works for the steering. Anyway, if you take this plate off and then put the bolts back down through with this top off, you can see what's going on a little better before you start dismantling things. There's like 3 plates in here, and there's tiny little pieces that move in and out with these tiny little spring clips that have to stay where they belong. You can't lose them or it won't work properly. I'll try to take it apart and tell you what I'm talking about here in a second. Okay, so I got my bolts all loosened up. I'm just gonna take my bolts out. And it's hard to get this straight up and down in the vise, but if you can do that, that would be best. But because of the stem sticking out up there for the steering wheel, there's no room for it unless you got a really deep vise. Anyway, I took my bolts out, so be careful putting your bolts back in because they're only like I don't know, I think it's like 19 max foot-pounds torque on these collars, because there's a rubber collar inside here. Inside the main collar here, there's a rubber collar inside. So let's take this off. Now, this is very important. This is very, very important. So there's usually a washer here. So there's a washer on the top here. So I'm going to take this washer and I'm going to put it right back on the cap where I got it and going on the right way. There's so many pieces in here. And then this collar is very important too. That little pin on the center of the top collar plate goes in that center hole here. So here's this thing rotates, which is this rotates in here. So we're going to take this and put this back down on the top cap. Get this out of the way. Okay, we're going to put it upside down, put it back on there where it belongs. So now what I like to do, I like to take my bolts and put them back down inside these holes, because I don't need to take this all apart. I'm just replacing the rubber sleeve. I'm just replacing, there's a rubber sleeve in here that goes in here. Now also, it's important to note that there's 2 different size sleeves that go in here. You need to measure your collar on your pump, and you want to get the collar that's wider than the collar on the pump. So I have this collar is 1 5/8 inches, and I have 1 3/4 inch collar, inside rubber collar that goes inside here. So here's the old collar here. It's just wore out. I mean, this tractor's, it's from '78, so holy moly, it's 45 years old. So I think something like that. So anyway, I put my bolts down and in through here to hold these pieces together. So I'm not taking this all apart. I'm just going to replace the rubber sleeve inside, and this keeps stuff from sliding off and hitting the ground, because if you lose stuff from here, there are very, very small pieces in here, especially those little spring clips, that if you lose those, you're going to be up the creek. You'll have to order them, and you'll be awaiting. So anyway, I put my bolts in, I slide this main collar off, I put the new rubber collar on. We can do that. Let's just do that, huh? Okay. Sorry if this is taking y'all too long. So that's probably enough. So anyway, this can come right off now. This can slide right out. You don't have to worry about your parts hitting the floor. And this is the old ring. We're going to take the old ring out. You got to give me something I can wear on my head, because working with one hand just ain't so fun. Anyway, the old collar comes out, the new one goes in. So you can see there's 3 plates here. There's 3 different. There's one collar here, one here, and there's one on the very bottom. So these are, they are location specific, and then you have a main sprocket in here that rotates around Anyway, that's how I do it. I've done a couple of these, and this is the easiest way I can find to replace the rubber inside of this collar. Once again, it's important that you don't torque these too much, because once they get in the tractor and they get filled with fluid, they actually, sorry, I got a freezer in here. So once they get in the tractor and they get filled with fluid, they tighten up some. So I hope those helps y'all. Hey, be blessed. See you later. Bye.